It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Been to my local bottle shop again and I picked up some Deya. This is by Deya Brewing Company and it's their Soul Searching Pale Ale. It's coming in at 3.8% ABV and this was £4.95 a can. £4.95 a can for a very unique, I do like Deya's. They put their beer in 500ml cans. Now it's not much more than a 440ml, it's just 60ml, but these cans sure do stand out on the supermarket shelf. Look at I say the supermarket shelf, they're not in the supermarket, are they? They're in the blooming bottle shop. They do stand out in the bottle shop shelves, they really do. When you look at most people can in 440s. When you look at the difference, it's not much, is it? But it's enough to make you go, ooh, I'll buy that can over that can because it's bigger. So it's a crocodile inside or in front of an eye. There's dragons. I can't work out. It's got a bit of a kind of like a Jamaica looking theme to it. And then it's got a very oriental theme going on at the same time. And without further ado then, let's get this silver can out. Open it up, get it out. Into a glass and see what we get. I picked it up from the bottle shop in Penarth, South Wales. There we go, so we got a 2-finger white head on this one. It's a hazy straw coloured beer. Big fan of Deya Brewing Company. We've got a bar here where I drink. It's called Craft Republic. I go there kind of like, I'd say once a month. And they've always got Steady Rolling Man. They have a big rolling selection of beers on all of the time. But the owner, Tim, loves Steady Rolling Man. It's his favourite beer. So he always has that on. And I think that is a great thing to have. When you go to a bar, a craft beer bar, and there's always going to be something you're going to love. But just to have that backup. They've also got a lager as well, which they just have on all of the time. But it's nice just to have a backup. You know, if a lot of people are lager drinkers, try this kind of craft lager from Craft Republic. If you're looking at the menu and you don't really fancy anything immediately, then start off with a Steady Rolling Man. It was the beer, Steady Rolling Man, that made Deya Brewing Company. I remember when it came out, it was one of those beers everybody wanted to try, and it was just terrific. It was one of those kind of, like, if you were a beer lover, if you were a craft beer lover, then you wanted to tell your friend about it. And it just, the word of mouth of that beer went all the way throughout the whole of the UK. Deya's Steady Rolling Man. Still an iconic beer today. But this isn't Steady Rolling Man, is it? It's a 3.8% pale ale. Let's concentrate on this one. Let's get the aroma. Oh, it smells so good. So punchy and hoppy for that 3.8% ABV. So much kind of flavour coming out from the aroma of the beer. Citrusy, grapefruit, tin pineapple, a little bit of lemon, a little bit of lime. Yeah, that smells really, really good. Really good. A little bit of sweet malt in there. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. That is absolutely crushable beer. Stone the crows. Let me rephrase this. If I'm drinking a pale ale, then I usually like a pale ale from 4.5% ABV up. Just my own personal preference, just how I like to normally drink my pale ales. When you get a beer down to about 3.8% ABV like this is, what you find is it's almost too refreshing. It's almost too close to water, let's be honest, you know. But Deya have pulled this off. Stone the crows, Deya have pulled this off because they've offered so much in the way of like a lovely juicy tangerine flavour, a lovely juicy orange flavour coming through from the hops, of course, a little bit of tinned pineapple, some papaya, some mango, some passion fruit. And if you think of all of those flavours, they are ultra kind of juicy fruits in their own right. And if you were to imagine like biting into an orange and having all of that kind of like a clementine or you get that kind of ultra satisfying orange flavour, but really juicy and fantastic. This is what you're getting with this beer. It doesn't taste, I mean, you get a sense of this 3.8% ABV because it's so juicy, but it doesn't taste like a 3.8% ABV beer because of the amount of hops they've added to the beer and because of that lovely crisp malt that's coming through. It's got a real punchy zestiness to it as well. Carbonation pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth, releases more of that flavour. In terms of the malt and the hops, there's a little bit of sweet malt coming through. There's a little bit of bitterness then on the other side, so it's a nicely balanced beer. Sorry, you can hear got the back door open and somebody's got their washing machine on high spin. Hey ho. It's a great beer. It's a great beer. Big fan of Deya, been there myself. Fantastic brewery, fantastic tap room. And it's not that expensive at their tap room actually. It's very fair. It's a very fair tap room to drink in. I mean, if I was to travel to Cheltenham where they're based, I mean, quite a big train fare. Quite expensive this day and age. So it's quite refreshing that when you get to Cheltenham, you got a place called, is it called Perfect Beer? Perfect Drinks or something? Something Perfect Drinks or so. Anyway, there's a fantastic bottle shop in Cheltenham with about 1,000 different beers in there. And then you've got this fantastic tap room in Deya that opens at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And again, you know, if your train fare is expensive, the beer's very fair. When I was there about 4 or 5 years ago, you could buy, I think they were selling pints for about £3. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Not sure now what the prices are in 2023, but they were quite fair a few years ago. Nothing really on the can. Water, malted barley, hops, yeast. No real. Oh, yes, it is. This pale ale is brewed with a small amount of Vienna malt and chip malt for subtle sweetness and fluffy body. It is dry hop with Azaka, Idaho 7 and Strata for a balance of sweet citrus and ripe tropical fruit, and presented to you at a gentle ABV. Easy now. Yeah, it's good. It's a cracker. The Vienna malt makes a difference. It does. Reading that now makes a massive difference. I love a little bit of Vienna malt to a beer. So I'm going to rate this. From Deya. Great lacing, great look to the beer. Fantastic taste. Really holding its own for that 3.8% ABV beer. Very difficult thing to do. Very difficult to get that right, but they've got it right. Yeah, that's a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.